evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. You're watching Seeing the Unseen with Christopher LaPratt. And my name's Kenan, his son and the producer of the show. Uh, thank you, thank you all so much for joining us here. And first, a quick piece of housekeeping for anyone who might be joining us for the very first time. Of course, readings are always free. Now, going forward after that, it's $10 per reading, or you can pay $100 and cover the entire month. Now, whether it's your first time or not, just be sure to say something out there in the chat so we know you're here. Don't be shy. We'll get everybody in line and get to everybody in the course of the evening here. So tonight's title, You Mean It's a Role, has some really great implications. And we say all the time how important it is to just, change the story. And one of my favorite teachers talks about how we're not only our own, we're all actors on a stage, like William Shakespeare said. Not only are we our own actors, but we're writing the script that we're reading out to everyone as well. And we can edit that on the fly. That's part of the fun. So that's all I've got to say about that. Here's Christopher with more, and enjoy the show.
Hey, great Monday evening to all of you. I want to light the incense for you. And this is in honor of you. And the incredible Oscar Academy Award that you deserve for your method acting here on this planet. So this is remembering who you are. Yes, you can play a role, but then remember who you are and why you are playing this role that you've chosen in this lifetime. So here's the incense for you. Great blessings to you. And I talked to Brosie about this, Scott, before the show, because he's also an actor, along with a filmmaker, director, cinematographer, writer. And in his acting, we were talking about method acting. And I won't get into it, but basically, method acting is when you have an actor really good when the cameras are rolling, and when the cameras are not rolling, they still stay in character. Like maybe some of you have heard of Daniel Day-Lewis. Dustin Hoffman was a method actor. So if they were playing a really mean role, didn't really want to approach them when the cameras weren't rolling. Because they were still in character. So I've been watching lately some of these videos about the NDEs, which are the near-death experiences. It's actually their death experiences, but they come back. And all of them have the same theme, very similar stories. And most of them come back and go, we forget that we're playing a role. And what's interesting about this role, and what I love about Scott, is he's taking this improvisational class. So you have to think on your feet around and during situations and being a certain character. Does that sound familiar to your life? And then going, hey, universe, give me some feedback here. Scott, what do they call that? They give you notes. Oh, universe, give me some notes here. So in other words, if you've ever done theater, if you've ever done a movie or whatever, the director, you'll do your scene, and then the director will give you notes about your character or about where to stand or attitude or whatever. Universe is your director. Give me the notes. Give me the notes. I want to play this bigger. I want to play it more money. I want to play it more power. I want to play it more independent. Universe, give me some notes. I love it. I really love it. And as you all know, once Kenan and I, my son, we come up with the theme, I pull a group card. You're going to love this group card. You can show it. It's called Gaia Gateway Activation. So we've heard of Hollywood. We've heard of Bollywood, right? Which is the Hollywood in India. I like to think of it as we're all part of Heavenwood. And in this other realm, Heavenwood, we chose these roles. And we chose kind of the syllabus as to what we needed to learn and what motions we were going through. But it's not until we actually get here that the stage can be sometimes a little intimidating. And you're like, oh my God. So anywhere where you've believed you've bit off more than you can chew, are you willing to let go of that? And are you willing to be open for the notes from the universe? And be free and be able to just mold them into this new you or this new character, because you can change roles. Absolutely. So this is the Gaia Gateway Activation. Now, I've talked about, most people are familiar with the regular 7 chakras, right? They're the throat chakra, the crown chakra, the third eye chakra, the heart chakra, the power chakra. And I've talked before about this chakra called the Earth Star chakra. It's about 12 inches below your feet. And we've talked about connecting with that. This one is the Gaia Gateway chakra. It is basically the center or the heart of the earth. And the earth is a living being. It has a spirit. We've come here for specific lessons. So I lit the incense, giving you huge kudos for the lessons you've chosen and how you're doing with them. And can you give yourself a little bit more credit? Can you polish that Oscar and go, hey, I've done this. Yeah, sometimes it's freaking scary, right? This role. Can you imagine playing Jack Nicholson in The Shining? Holy cow. Or any of these, Bela Lugosi as Dracula, right? Some of these roles are dark, but look at all the other roles now Jack Nicholson has played. He's known for a lot of different roles. Guess what? You know, Jeff, Lindsay, Kat, everybody on the show, Marilyn, you could be known for other roles, and that's what you're moving into. But this is your connection, remembering most and foremost your connection with Gaia, with Earth, and being the Earth Spirit. Most people relate to enlightenment or ascension as leaving the body and joining the heavenly realms. No. Ascension or enlightenment is not moving beyond the limitations of the body or transcending the physical realm. That's not what it's about. But being present in the body in full awareness of spirit. That's the Gaia Gateway. So if you want to close your eyes for just a minute, take a nice, slow, few deep breaths. There's no hurry in this. And feel your energy descending below the Earth Star chakra, below that 12 inches below your feet, and going to the heart of the earth. And as you descend and you're feeling this, notice a portal opening. And that portal is what takes you to the spirit of Earth, the spirit of Gaia. And are you willing to receive any transmissions from her or from planet Earth, from Gaia? Because it is a spirit. Because the messages don't come from just above. They come from all around us and below us, this planet that we're on. And then be where you are. And be grateful for where you are, what your lessons are, how you're doing with your lessons. And be free of... So think of it as going to Disneyland and being at Disneyland and then wishing you were at Universal Studios the whole time. No. Be in Disneyland. We're here on this earth now to get the lessons, and I lit the incense. Kudos for you getting the lessons. All right. So Laurel's on first, and Laurel was not here last night. So I want to pull a couple of cards for Laurel. Then we've got Diana and we've got Jeff. Is Jeff on?
Yes.
Okay. And we go through, if you're new to the program, we go through, we'll pull a card, we'll pull a reading, we'll do a reading for you in the order that you came in the show. Okay. All right, my dear Laurel. Houston Laurel. So Laurel, you and I have been around the block enough to know, number one, you don't mix your alcohol. If you're going to go out, then drink beer, but don't mix it with whiskey and then sweet daiquiri, and it's like, whoa. Okay, it's really, really horrible. It can make you really, really sick. It could kill you. But this card is the mixed emotions card. So let's go back to this stage, right? Shakespeare said the entire world is a stage. And all the players are the actors on this stage. So you learn, especially if improvisational acting or method acting, you actually feel the emotion coming from the other actors. What if that was not your emotion? What if that everything is energy? So I'm talking to everybody on the show right now. What you're feeling, if you feel frustrated or scared or worried, I know for a certainty every one of you on this show is absolutely gifted. You got a gift, okay? That was Robert De Niro from Analyze This and Analyze That. I love those movies. You got a gift. And so when you're sensitive, when you're, I will call it psychic, when you're sensitive, ask where these emotions, these feelings are coming from. First of all, most likely, they're not yours. They are your fellow actors. So, Laurel, before you get into your house, before you come into your house, Laurel, please always check the bottom of your shoes. And I'm speaking of this metaphorically. And notice when you're stepping in dog crap. Notice when you're stepping in other people's energies. So when you go perform and you're in these venues, there's a. I was telling Scott about this, and I was actually telling Doc Skinner about it. Doc is a friend of mine up in Sholo. He asked me to come up for Halloween and do readings in this place called the Lodge. Now I have done that before. I've done group readings, or parties. And I said, "Oh, where's it going to be?" And he's like, he names the name of this bar, and I'm like, "Gosh, Doc, thank you so much for asking me, but big no." The place is really, really haunted. So I simply don't go there, Laurel. Or so I'll tell you my first experience, Laurel, with this. I'd never been there before. This is about 3 years ago, and they were having one of the Sholo Film Festival parties there. So I walked in and I went, "Oh boy." So I went over to the buffet and I got my cheese tray and I walked out. I sat in my car and ate my cheese. And then I thought, I've got to go back in there. There's some reason I've got to be there. And that's ended up where I met he became a very close friend of mine who, entertainment attorney in Hollywood. He did Dallas Buyers Club. Anyway, that's why I had to go back in. So there's this, but I set up this kind of level of protection. And I went in the first time without realizing that I needed to do that. So that's what this is. You're picking up all right. And I've talked about this on the show before, Laurel. And so I want to share this with all of you. They've done tracking on intersections here, or not just here, but when there's a car accident in an intersection, then sometimes a week later there's 2 accidents, and then there's 3 and 4, and it becomes known as a dangerous intersection because the energy or the impact or the emotion gets stuck in that intersection. And so there are actually churches in town here that go to those intersections. They'll read the police reports and they'll know what intersections have the most accidents, and they will pray over the intersection. And then there's no more accidents. So I would suggest all of you be aware of the intersections that you've been around. And so this is you, Laurel, and everybody really on the show. When you have these weird things happen or emotions come up or worries, or it's not you. Okay, Laurel, here comes your second card. Okay, girl, Amazon is having spandex on sale right now. So you might want to look at that to get your new cheerleading outfit. This is the SUCCESS. That's the way you spell success. Okay. This is great. So we're raised, and I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking to Diane, I'm talking to Jeff, I'm talking to Scott, everybody on the show. We define success from projections, whether it's on a movie, whether it's society, whether it's somebody that drives a nice car. And are we willing to let go of those projections of success and go, what is success for me? And if you drink another quart of water a day. That's a success. You start giving yourself these pats on the back, applauding the minor. There are no minor successes, but you know what I mean. Is you applaud these successes because there's great success coming your way. And so I'm saying to everyone on the show, you don't get the roses, you don't get the applause until after the play. So there are certain, or you'll get the applause after a certain scene. So we're all playing every day, we're playing different scenes. And so we need to be the first to give ourselves this applause for making it through that scene that day. Okay? All right. Who's next?
Great. So you got both cards for Laurel. So then it's Diane and your friend.
Okay, Diane, and then Jeff. All right. What is this? Show this to me clearly. Universe, give this to me now. Universe, give me clarity on this now. Whether it's physical, spiritual, mental, emotional, financial, universe, give me clarity on this now. And trusting the answers. Life is about this Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Diane, and everybody on the show. It's that scene in that movie where at the very end they're searching for the Holy Grail and Indiana has to cross this infinitely deep chasm. But he's got to step out into the chasm in faith. It's that fear, and there was an invisible bridge, but he couldn't see it until he actually made this step. So anytime any one of you have stepped out in faith, can you give yourself some applause? That's an incredible scene. That's what we came here to do. And when we do that, Jeff, everyone on the show, when we do that, we remember more of who we are. Okay. Who's next?
So next
Abby said she had to switch. What does that mean?
she's on YouTube now instead of Facebook.
Oh, Facebook doesn't work?
No, it's working.
Okay. Okay. So now we've got Jeff. All right, Jeff, here we go. Okay, so Jeff, are you willing to let go of being everything for everybody? The interference is, I call this the hang-up card. So you're on your phone. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, I can't hear you. Hello, I can't hear you. Hello? Are you still there? Let me call you back. Hang up. Call back. This is the It's the disconnect card, stepping back, because you can always step back up and redial and call that person back. But this is the interference card that's coming up. So this is very similar to Laurel's card about the mixed emotions. But these are energies being projected upon you. Can you return those energies? So think of a bum coming up to you or a street person, and you just sneezed, and they give you their handkerchief. You don't take it. You can say thank you, no thank you. You don't know where that handkerchief has been. And Jeff, anywhere that anyone is wanting from you, are you willing to cut that energy off? Because you're being it's like a freaking black hole, man. So I've read this, I don't know this for sure, but when things are being sucked into the black hole, they're literally torn apart. And so bring your energy back, Jeff. Bring it back. You call it in, and then call it back in. Okay, and I had another card here for you. Sorry. Two fell out. Yeah. Anywhere where anyone is trying to throw you off balance, are you willing to let them fall? It's allowing people to hit rock bottom. They have got to hit rock bottom. And anywhere where you have believed you've needed to save or that you have to help, or that people have set up a condition where people are constantly trying to they create a condition where they need help, but they constantly need help. That's their role that they're playing, and you can switch partners. You can switch roles and go, no, it's safe and okay for me to be a badass. It's safe and okay for you to be a badass. The hardest word to pronounce in the English language, I don't know if you're driving, hopefully you're not, but again, write this down, Jeff, is the word, I'll spell it for you, N-O, no. This will help bring you back into balance. And this reading, the energy tonight, will help bring you back into this balance and realize this is very similar to Laurel's card, this interference. Okay. Who's next? Hey, Miss Marilyn. It's the passion card. um, I don't know what this. Hang on a minute. There's something with curtains. So for instance, I really, really love my background. I love the lay, how the curtains lay, the color of the curtains, and I just feel good about sitting here and having that background. Um, so this can be literally changing out your curtains in your house. But it's also very symbolic, Marilyn, of drawing the curtains so other people don't see what's going on in your house. So Ken and I are very careful about who we invite into our house. We live in a condominium with 500 other units, and we picked a condo that is in the middle of the condominium, so it's difficult to find. So we don't really need the curtains other than for the background for the show. But my point of telling you this is anyone that wants information about you or Larry, you don't have to give it to them. I just get gossipers or energy that is so this is kind of like Jeff's card, where it's energy, like people want something from you or they want information, and it's information that they can twist. So it's just like, just draw the curtain. Okay, who's next?
I'm Rosie.
Hey, bros. Okay, here we go. All right, dude. Take a picture of this card, please. We're going to talk about this on the way up to Sholo. Confidence. Strength. I was talking about this with friends about your presence and your voice. And when you get into the mode, like he's going to be doing a class up in Sholo. You have this voice and you have this pose and you have this confidence. But when any of us are speaking to anyone in any way, we're projecting confidence into that other person or into the audience. That's what you're going to be doing. That's the underlying, is this strength, the confidence that not only you have, but the confidence that you're imparting to other people. And I'm talking to everybody on the show now, right? So you speak with confidence. And if people are messing with you, like I've talked a little bit, like maybe with Marilyn or with Laurel, speak with confidence. No. It's teaching them no. It's like a dog. I know, Marilyn, you have cats, but you had dogs. But I'm laughing here. Cats can learn, but you have to be consistent. right? So this is with this confidence is growing bigger and more in you. And anywhere, Scott, where this doubt comes in, get it out. Doubt out. Rhymes. Okay, who's next?
That's good. It's Edna.
Okay, and Northern Idaho. Okay. So this is the fortune card, right? Money coming in. So I love this because Laurel got the success card, which again, this card is for you, Edna, but it's for the whole group. So Jeff, Scott, everyone on the show is listening, Diane, Marilyn, everyone. This is the Wheel of Fortune. And again, just like the Wheel of Fortune with Vanna White, Pat Sajak, when they spin the wheel, you get to sit and guess the letters. Sometimes the puzzle isn't always it isn't complete, but you know that it's formulating. This is all coming together for you. Excuse me. This is the fortune, and be a little bit like Midas, where you're counting your fortune, right? You're counting your blessings. You're counting what you do have, and this is more fortune coming in, and it's great because it's more fortune coming in for all of us. So thank you, Edna, for being here. And then, can you give yourself a little bit more credit for being as smart as you are? So, even reaching out to Marilyn Pitts, because Edna does hospice, like she does. She's like a hospice nurse as well. But this is the intelligence and giving yourself a little bit more credit for being as smart as you are. Okay, who's next?
Great. It's Austin and Lindsay.
Austin and Lindsay. Anywhere, Austin, that you've judged that something or something is a waste, are you willing to let go of that? The reason I say that is this is like pouring a glass of water and then it overflows. And you're like, oh my God, stop pouring. It's not wasting water. It's not wasting milk. It's not wasting wine or whatever it is that you're pouring. It's a learning to know when enough is enough. And when you become overwhelmed, you're taking too much on. And anywhere that you're trying to prove yourself, are you willing to let go of that and just be great with enough? Because you can always fill the glass again. You don't have to keep overflowing it and your energy just going everywhere. and wasting your energy on any kind of worry or trying to mask fear or worry with alcohol or whatever. This is absolutely being okay, and you being okay with who you are and knowing that you're enough. All right, who's next?
Lindsay.
Okay, hey Lindsay. So look up, Lindsay, if you can, after the show, the spirit animal eagle. This is, so I'm seeing the eagle on the dollar bill or on money. Do you have a dollar bill on you?
I do not.
I don't have any cash on me. And to look at a dollar bill or a $10 bill or whatever. You have a 20?
Yeah.
Kennan's going to go get a 20 because I need to look at it. That would be kind of a great thing to do, right? Is to do a reading instead of cards, do it with money. Oh, that's a great idea. Thanks, Lindsay. I might do that. Shuffle through the bills. That would be funny. But there's something, Lindsay, with this money. Thank you. Yeah. This is what I'm seeing. Yeah, it's that eagle. That's the eagle. And if you look at this card, Lindsay, it's kind of camouflaged in here. It's this giant eagle looking out over you. So there's anywhere that you've been taught from your father, or what you've learned about money from your father that is not serving you, are you willing to let that go now? Or any judgments from your father around money, are you willing to let that go now? You know, this is like an example of maybe when you were little and you overheard your father arguing about money or not having enough or something, and this is about clearing that energy away. This is being a profoundly sensational, successful financially artist. Choose that. If you choose that role, choose it. Do it. Okay, who's next?
Great, you got Abby Maryland.
Hey, Abby. Hey, Marilyn. All right, my dear Marilyn. You've heard the term sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Words are spells. The energy behind them is projected. They're like stones. So have you ever seen those videos about shelter dogs and how if shelter dogs have come from a really bad home, they're scared, they won't come out, they'll bite you, or they're aggressive, whatever it is, that whatever they developed in order to survive from where they came from, then so I watched this video. This is your guides telling me to tell you this, Marilyn. There was one dog whisperer, a trainer, who had this kind of situation with a dog at a pound, and he went in, but he sat with his back to the dog, and just sat in the cage with the dog, and didn't say anything, didn't try to pet him, didn't, nothing. And he did this for days. And finally, the dog gradually, this guy had to, I mean, the patience of Job, just a tremendous amount of patience. Be patient. What you're doing is paying off because you're working with wounded people. And some of them, they bite. Some of them growl. Some of them, their bark is worse than their bite. But some of them bite. This is how they've been trained. They've been wounded by words. They've been wounded by what they've been told. So, number one, this is huge kudos, huge from Spirit, giving you this amazing, just kudos isn't the right, praise for who you've helped, what you've done, the dog cages you've sat in with your back to the vicious dog, right, or the scared dog, and given, but this is like, keep going, be free of giving up, keep going. You're making an impact, you're making a difference with these people. Okay, Abby, my dear Abby. I got gifts. I got gifts, Abby. I got gifts. I am gifted. I am gifted. You know what we're talking about here with the brain integration. I am gifted. You are the knower. Abby, you may not have the abilities that I have. You know, you may not see the dead or channel or whatever the terms are anymore. You know, this is, you are the knower. You are gifted in these abilities. Claim that role. Claim that role. Be free of doubt. And be free of comparing yourself to others. The Hierophant is the knower, the knower, the knower. He never compares himself to the Hierophant on the other mountain, right? Or to the Hierophant to the south of him. No. He's the Hierophant. And one of your abilities, among the many, is getting people to question. So think of yourself as, remember that story of the little girl that asked her mommy, why are you cutting off the end of the roast? And the mommy says, I don't know. My mommy did it. So they call grandma. Grandma says, I don't know. My mommy did it. So they call great grandma. Grandma says, well, my pan was too small. I had to cut off the end of the roast. But there was this tradition. So you're like the little girl that simply asks a question. Mommy, why are you cutting off the end of the roast? It helps people look at their tradition and why they're practicing or believing or doing what it is that they're doing that's not really of them. That's a huge gift, Abby. Come on, give yourself some credit. I love it. Okay, who's next?
Cat and Geo.
Cat and Geo. Okay. Tennessee, here we come. All right, Kat. How do you make a meal, Kat? You break it down. You put the water on to boil. When it boils, you put in the macaroni. You make everything in the meal one thing at a time. And you don't get over. You're great. You're a great cook. You don't get overwhelmed. I know because I've eaten your food. You and Jared are great cooks, but you don't get overwhelmed by the meal. And it's funny because my sister sent me she wants to cook birthday dinner for me, so she sent me like a list of things that she wants to cook. And I'm sorry, Dan, I will get back to you. I was a little busy, but this is you, Kat. Like, this is all coming together for you. So when you're playing, let's say, a role on Broadway or a role, a stage play, you research the role, or you're playing a movie, right? You research the role a little bit. You have helpers, you have angels, you have guides. As you're creating this new thing on earth, yes, it's new for you. Okay? And your guides, it's like you're cooking this meal, Kat, and you have like Chef Boyardee as one of your spirit guides. You know, they're helping you make this meal. When you're in this creative mode, I'm speaking to everybody here that's creating something that they've never done. What was that, Kenan, you were saying earlier about everything easy starts out hard?
Right. Nothing's easy at first.
Nothing, Kenan said, I knew we were going to share this tonight. So everybody on the show, say it again.
Nothing's easy at first.
Nothing is easy at first. So you learn exactly how much salt to put into the sauce, right? So this is the point of this card is you're the creator, but you've got help. You've got spirit helping you create this master thing that's affecting you big time, positively, and also the earth. All right, Jared. Dr. Jared. Wow. This is victory. So this is very similar to success. So when I remember, as I said, if I pull a card for you, it's for you, but it's also for the group. So this is that success card, but this is also the victory card. And look up, Jared, the spiritual meaning of the menorah. Isn't the menorah? Isn't that the candle?
For Hanukkah, right?
For Hanukkah. Yeah. There's something so anywhere, for instance, when there's wars, you want to, I highly suggest you pray and you send great energy to the situation. Great energy to the situation, not one side or the other. Send great energy I don't know what the menorah is for you. But there's something, it's in New York. It's victory in New York. It's you're going to meet influential people that happen to be of the Jewish community. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. Woo! Okay, who's next?
So you got Kat and Gia both.
Uh-huh.
It's Jamie Bush and then Teresa.
Jamie, awesome. Okay. All right, Jamie. Demolition, the Tower card. What goes up must come down. This is similar to Jeff's card, Jamie. Allow people to fall. If they insist on falling. I know that sounds bizarre, but I think you know what I mean. It's not that you don't help people. You do. But when they're on a downward spiral, sometimes you do have to let them hit rock bottom. Because they will get back up. But there's certain learning processes that we all have. And again, we talked about this last night on the show about projecting your truth on anyone. It's like, and I'm not saying you are, but we were talking about on the show that be free of projecting your truth on someone else's truth or telling them what that truth is. And in this case, for whatever reason, they're needing to hit rock bottom in order to spiral back up. So withdraw your energy from it. Just trust that it's going to work out. Because that dissipation of the structure has to happen in order to create something new for this person. Okay.
Teresa.
Teresa! Okay. Thanks for being here, Teresa. Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way I feel. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from near and far, and still somehow it's clouds' illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. This is staying open to learning. This is the Moon card. As your abilities develop, it can make you go, whoa. What was that? And it can be a little, you don't have anywhere to process that. And so we talked about this last night a little bit about the dream world and the real world, or what we call the real world, merging and your dreams coming true. That's what this is. And you're getting better and better at it. And I've talked about this before, that when you have a nightmare at night, stay in bed, you're awake, you have this nightmare, close your eyes, go back and change the dream. While you're conscious, you're still laying in bed, your eyes are closed, go back and change the dream to a different outcome. So things don't sometimes work out in life the way we think it is. Go into that dream of reality and go, okay, how would I like to feel here? How would I like to work it out? Universe, do this or something better for me. Okay, and Mason?
Yeah,
Mason's here?
I think so.
Huh?
I think so.
Okay. All right, pull a card for you, Mason. All right. So Mason, how our friend Duncan, who's the neuroscientist, he has those brain exercises with their black tubes. Do some of those. Have Duncan show you some of the black tube stuff, okay? That helps to integrate the brain. It builds the brain amazingly. And you'll love that if you haven't done that already. Okay, who's next?
Awesome. You've got Christina Seymour Brown.
Christina's on. Oh my God, I get to see you in 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Christina is going to be speaking at the Sholo Film Festival. She works in Hollywood. She does amazing things. Like set decorating for movies. It's just amazing. Okay. So, Christina, here's one of your gifts that you may be aware of expanding, but you're on the show, so I'm pulling a card for you. This is what this is about. This is called transmutation. So, when you're given this assignment for set decorating for a movie or whatever it is, you have to, you've told me, you go into this creative mode and it just comes to you. Like you create it, whether it's she does things people like wedding cakes, fake wedding cakes, so they don't melt under the camera, that type of thing. Or the lens or the lights. So you create it first in your mind, or you maybe sketch it out, and then you create it in your workshop, and you actually decorate the set, however it is, right? This is completely, right now you're in the phase of completely upgrading and changing your life. So if you've ever seen that movie, where the buildings move and it's called Dark
City.
Yeah, okay. So if you've ever seen this movie called Dark City, Christina, I won't go into the plot of it, but these aliens have an ability to manipulate matter. And so they'll take a family who lives in poverty and they'll put them to sleep, and then they wake up, they're in this mansion. And then they put on this persona or they put into these people, they change the mentality from poverty to prosperity. And so here you have these very rich people that live in this huge mansion, and just the night before they were living in this shack. Anyway, I'm telling you this story because that's what's happening with you. You're jumping, and it can be a little bit like when you get into an elevator and it moves really fast and you're like, whoa. It's one of the side effects of moving fast. So if you get a little confused or frustrated or dizzy, you're moving. You're moving. Oh my God, Christina, this is beautiful. I'm excited to see you. I cannot wait to give you a big hug. Okay, who's next?
So there's a slew of new people. There's 3 people that are brand new.
3 new people.
Yeah, so Owl Empress Prophetess 44 is the first one.
Owl Empress Prophetess 44. Okay, we'll read for you. Can I call you Owl for short? Okay.
Some weeks we get, of course.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us. And everybody, welcome. Everyone new, you're so welcome. And thank you so much for being here. This is really a beautiful card. Owl. So I talk, I don't know why I'm talking so much in movies, but there's a movie called Pay It Forward, where sometimes the good deeds that we do, you don't really know the impact, and we may not ever know the impact until we're on the other side many years from now. This is I have this very warm, precious feeling. So it's like a mother energy. That's like bursting with pride for you. And how far you have come. It's the journey you've been on, and giving you kudos for that. And to look at other people's cups that you filled, but fill your own cup first. Always put you first. Are you willing to do that? This is, again, the oxygen mask on the plane. You put it on yourself first. It's important to fill your cup first. Take care of your needs first. And that's, of course, that's something we can all do better at, right? Okay, who's next?
Another new person. So she's called Brittany Renee.
Brittany Renee. Thank you for being here, Brittany.
She says thank you for being you.
So actually, 3 cards fell out, Brittany. So these cards are for you, but they're also for the group, because I need a minute on this one. So you've got the success card, but then you've got the luxury card, then you've got the richness card. So I'm going to pull these back. If you have your phone camera, if you can take a picture of these. In fact, everybody on the show, since this is toward the end of the show, again, these cards are for everyone. If you can take a picture of these cards, it would be huge. This is success. This is luxury. And then you've got the richness card. So I don't know what it is that you're thinking about, or if you have a blog, or if you have what I see here is I see the Orient. I see like the North. I see Iceland, Greenland. I see Europe. there's something about a blog or a really activating your gifts to help other people in the world, because what you have to offer is really important. The skills you have, the skills that you have, be free of doubting that everyone else has, or be free of believing that anyone else has those skills. You have very unique skills, and there's something that you can offer other people to really help them, but mainly help yourself, that brings in this luxury, this richness, this success. Great, great message. And your connection with other realms. Okay, who's next?
Next is Hope. Is it Marin too?
Hope? Thank you, Hope. Yeah, thank you all for being here. Okay, so Hope. I love this card. It's called the Oppression card. But there seems to be a wall here, and excuse me, and a barrier with electricity or fire, and you're wanting to get to have more balance. There's the yin yang symbol. This is stepping back, and if you look, there's a way around the card. There's a way under it. But if you're right up on it and you're looking at these bars, there doesn't seem to be, there's an impenetrable way to get balance, more balance in your life. This is really bringing more balance in. This is more balance happening for you, Hope. That you can go under, you can go around, you can go over. So after this reading tonight, you'll feel this kind of unbinding. And the reason I'm saying that is your guides are showing me in ancient or olden times in Japan, they used to bind women's feet because that was a sign of beauty, submission, all of that. And it may be that could have been one of your past lives, but my point is, there's no from this reading, there's like an unbinding occurring, where you will feel more free. There's more freedom coming to you, Hope. Relationship wise, career, money, there's more. And you'll feel from this reading after tonight this ability to have stepped back and go, oh, I can go under this, or I can go around it, oh, I can go over it. And you're going to be, yeah, it's going to be really, really good. And then if you remember when I read for Brittany and also for Owl, there was this richness, the success, the luxury, okay? So this is our ability to look around obstacles, so it's for everybody on the show. Okay, so I hope we have everybody.
Oh, there's Richard Kuhlman out there too, if you want to look.
Richard's here?
Yeah.
Oh, Richard's here. Okay. All right, Richard. Awesome. So this is moving from, why does it always work out for everybody else and why does it never work out for me? I'm going to cancel clearly what I just said. But my point is, you moving into the line. So think of there being a sign up here outside the building. Everything works out for me. Nothing works out for me. And you realize, because there's lots of people outside this building with these two signs, right? And you realize, oh my God, I've been standing in this, nothing works out for me. All you're doing here with this card, you're stepping in to the everything works out for me. So I bless all of you with this show tonight. Everything works out for your divine good, for your highest and for your best. I love you all. Let's do this again Wednesday night.